Hey guys.
What's up, cyber bitches?
Beep, boop, boop.
Today's episode, we're going to be talking about
Kinks.
Ooh. Ooh. Put headphones in. Put mommy away.
Not suitable for work. We're going to be talking about kinks, baby.
Yeah.
So buckle your seatbelts.
And get ready for the
Lay
crazy
down.
ride. Lay down.
No, today we're talking about kinks because a series of events happened recently.
Unexpectedly.
So unexpected, and it's leading us to talk about kinks and to kind of remove the negative stigma that some kinks have. Like, I don't know, maybe
A wedgie fetish?
wedgie fetishes. Oh, you never heard of that before?
Neither did I.
Until we released our childhood story episode.
Okay, so here's
Memory Lane Trippin'.
Memory Lane Trippin'. Haven't heard it? Episode 10. So, in our episode 10, there was a very peculiar spike in our numbers.
When I say a spike, man, it's a freaking spike.
It's a 90-degree spike.
Like, what is that, right angle?
That's straight up.
Oh, shit, yeah. That's what that is. Because our numbers for our other podcasts are very consistent. Like, they're within a ballpark.
Yeah.
One day, I decided to check our numbers, and the numbers for this episode...
It was my birthday. Just saying.
I was like, oh, let me check our numbers. I check, and we're talking about...
Like hundreds and hundreds more than usual.
And we're like, this is peculiar.
But we're like, but why?
Yeah, like, why this one? Out of all of our episodes, why Memory Lane Trippin'?
But I wasn't... Because here's the thing. I was, like, relating it to, let's say, TikTok. Because you can see how many people's views they have. Like, some people don't have, like, a lot of views. But then they'll have one video that just spikes.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's not unrealistic for something like that to happen. And it wasn't so high that it's like, whoa. It's like, it was kind of reasonable. I was like, oh, that's nice. Because so far, that's been my favorite episode. That was the most fun to, like, record for me.
Really?
I really like that one. I
That
like
is a
hearing your
cute one.
stories, too.
Yeah.
It was just nice to, like, reminisce and, like, tell funny stories.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so nice. Like, my favorite episode is, like, doing really well. And then...
We have an Instagram for our podcast. If you don't follow it, follow it.
inthepudding.podcast on Instagram. So.
You know, it's very easy to remember. But anyway, I was on our Instagram, and then I saw that we got a comment on the photo that kind of, like, advertises our episode. There was a comment that said, do you answer your DMs? So I checked our DMs.
do answer the
Yeah,
DMs.
we answer the DMs. And if anything... we encourage it. And I checked our DMs, and let me pull it up because I don't want to misquote. So we got this DM, and it said, hey, sorry to bother both of you, but I saw your podcast, and in it you said you got wedgies. If it's okay, I'd love to pay you to make wedgies. If not, I completely understand. I was the one responding to this guy, but I wasn't the one that got the wedgie. That's Angie over here. So I said, hi, I don't really understand what you're asking, ? I mean, I did. I just wanted to see
How far you would go?
not how far, just what he really wanted. You know?
Human connection.
Maybe. And then he said, as weird as it sounds, wedgies is my fetish. And I was just wondering if you two would be down to make a wedgie video. In parentheses, I'll pay. But I totally understand if you don't wanna. So then I asked Angie her rate and what she would really want to do and what she's willing.
And then we went shopping for underwear.
So then we summed it up, and we said no, that we're not interested in doing that, just because not really our thing. Also, what if this comes out in the future?
We're actors, big time. I don't want it to stain my
career.
career.
Not in like a bad, well, yeah, in a bad way. We just didn't want it to come out. Imagine if we're freaking famous on the red carpet, and then someone's like, Viviana, Angelina, I have a question for you. And they're like, how was that wedgie video?
Ooh, wedgie girls.
Guys,
stop it.
And then our careers tanked. So we said no. We politely declined.
Also, after I was reading them and me and you were messaging about them, I was like, really? Wedgies? But I'm not surprised. I feel like anything is a kink, to be honest.
I just never have heard of a wedgie kink until right now.
Yeah.
So then I was communicating with this guy saying, no, like, we don't feel comfortable doing that. He was completely understanding. And then I noticed we had a comment on the same photo, and
also,
this is
within that time, these different accounts started
following us, and they all had like wedgie in the title of their account name.
Wedgie lover.
Yeah, and so we got another message on the same photo, and we're like, oh shit, again, poppin'. But really, it was just another member of the wedgie fetish community defending us, which was nice. He was kind of like, hey, stop harassing these girls. You're making us look bad, blah, blah, blah. So I responded and I was like, hey, he's not really harassing us, because he's not. He wasn't harassing us. And I was like, he's not harassing us. It's fine. We don't kink shame, which leads us to this episode about kinks and why you shouldn't kink shame. And we can just talk about kinky stuff. Ooh.
Before we get into that, because I had a lot of concerns with this thing, not the actual wedgie fetish itself. It was just the context of the video, because in the video we branded it as childhood stories. All of our advertisement posts had pictures of us as little girls, very, very like 5, 6, very little. And in the story, like the actual podcast episode, we started off saying like we're little girls. These are our little stories. We said our like age when we're telling these stories, and it didn't sit right with me how much our numbers had been going up for this wedgie story that happened to me when I was a little girl.
Yeah.
And we know people were getting off to this. That's why our numbers grew and grew, and they're still growing. And that just didn't sit right with me at all.
It is gross. But if it was really because we were kids, they would mention other stories about us. Not specifically just the wedgie story. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was because we were kids, they would have talked about all these other stories that we mentioned.
Yeah, for me, I mean, honestly, like, with the world we live in, I wouldn't put it past a certain group of those people to be in it for like wedgie, also the kids.
It's gross when you think about it, but I just want to say that the people that we've talked to and the people that have been in contact with us who are a part of the wedgie community, they are not malicious or creepy
that we know of.
They're not like harassing us. They're not, trying to pressure us to do stuff. It's very like cordial, I would say.
Okay. With that being said, I mean, for me personally, I'm like, that's, if I hear about like certain kinks, I'm like, it's a little strange. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't care. That doesn't affect me. Like, you do whatever you want. I'm not gonna be like, ooh, weirdo, you like feet, okay?
Yeah, I don't
and
care.
What? I don't like feet personally.
No, me either.
But if you do, it's okay.
I mean, you're not hurting anyone, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
But because this whole wedgie thing got so out of it blew up.
Yeah.
It really blew up for no reason. I don't know. Now we just want to talk about other kinks, because it got me thinking. The guy was willing to pay us, to make what he wanted from us, because we kept talking, and he specifically said that he wanted us to make a video, me and Angie.
Yep.
4-minute video of
4
us.
minutes?
4 minutes.
Damn.
That's pretty long.
That is a long time.
4-minute video of us giving each other wedgies in like white underwear. I'm not comfortable doing that. How about you?
No.
But then it made me wonder, like, how much money would it take?
Yeah.
How much money would it take you to do that with me? Realistically.
Realistically?
Our faces aren't in it. Let's say like our faces aren't in it. How much money would it take for a 4-minute video?
$500 minimum.
For a 4-minute video? Because our DMs are like, I'll pay you $500.
No, because the thing is, I'm thinking about it. And I feel like the 4 minutes is nothing, dude. There's songs that are 4 minutes.
What's getting me? I feel like I would be embarrassed to do it with you.
I would be so fucking embarrassed.
No, to do it with you.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to give you a wedgie. Like, I don't want to
you're
do
my
that.
friend.
Yeah.
And then, dude, imagine, like, that's never going to be the same.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I can film a video with you and then just...
Okay, $700.
I think mine would easily be maybe in the thousands for sure.
You know what? Because I'm thinking realistically,
Yeah.
no one's gonna pay $1,000.
You don't know.
When they can get it for cheaper from someone else.
But they want it from us.
I don't think it's.
Well, I'm just saying, like in a hypothetical world, it would take me like a couple thousands. I need a couple G's on that.
Honestly, even if someone offered me $500, I don't think I would do it.
Let's talk about foot fetishes. Hey, foot fetish people.
I just jumped. Oh, okay. Oh, I think, and I'm just going to say, I think girls that turn down foot fetish pics for like hundreds of dollars.
Dumb.
Clownery.
Just do it.
Dude, it's not your fucking face.
No one can identify you by your feet.
And even if it was everywhere, you wear chanclas, right? Little
True,
flip-flops.
True, everyone sees
Sandals.
them.
Who fucking cares? Just sell the feet pics.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I wish somebody would ask me.
Okay, guys. Anybody listening?
Hey,
if
guys.
you want to buy feet pics, I will sell you feet pics.
Me too.
My minimum,
Okay, let's
Like, actually, like, break down
No,
the
yeah,
math?
let's break it down. So, if anybody's listening and they're into they're into foot fetishes and they want feet pics, we will do it for this price.
Okay, I'm going to break it down by foot, too. If you want both feet in the picture, it's going to be a little more pricey.
Oh.
I'm just going to keep it honest.
Uh-huh. Some of them like it when your nails are done. Some of them don't like it when your nails are done.
I can do both.
Yeah. So then some people also, I know that some people like dirty feet.
Oh.
That's kind of where I
can't
feel a
do
little
that. I'm
iffy.
very, very sensitive about my hands and feet.
I don't like having dirty feet. But if you were to be like, hey, Viviana, Angie, I love In the Pudding. I also love dirty feet. Would you be down to give me a dirty feet pic for $300?
Oh, of course.
Okay, $100.
Yeah.
All right.
Because think about
50.
it.
Honestly, what's a good price? Okay, so we've concluded nothing less than 50.
Here's why. I have been complimented my whole life about
Your feet?
that too, and my hands. I've gotten so many
Yeah,
compliments
you have
on my
nice
hands, and like, so I take a lot of pride in those features. Like, I feel like I have like built up some respect and credibility
Okay.
for those features of mine. So I'm not gonna settle.
Yeah. No, 50 is reasonable.
I think that's a reasonable price. But don't just think, oh, $50. Okay, that's minimum.
That's like
Bare minimum.
bare
photos.
minimum photo of just our feet, $50. If you want the good stuff, the price goes up too.
You want a little pose,
that
a little
goes
arched
up.
action.
Ooh.
That's gonna cost
That's
you,
gonna-
buddy. Or Mrs.
Or Mrs.
Or non-binary. I don't know.
But anyway, we're just saying this. If you're interested, hit us up in our In the Pudding DM. We'll negotiate.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of fetishes, let's talk about furries.
Okay. Oh,
Yep.
here's a little learning moment. I'll tell you what I know. I don't know much about furry. There's like so many jokes about like, furries, I did the furries. And like, I love the movie Zootopia. It's one of my favorite movies.
What? What does that have to do
Let
with
me tell you.
anything?
And
That's a kid's movie.
it actually has a lot of underlying political
I know, but why are we talking
tones.
about this with...
Let me tell you.
Oh, okay.
So my mother's boyfriend's son.
Mother's boyfriend's son.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know, 14 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very like, and he knows like all these like different terms. Like he's very like with the times. I'm getting older. I'm kind of losing it a little bit. And he was talking about like, that's a furry movie, and
Yeah.
'cause he has like Reddit and stuff. So there's like all these
Oh.
different forums, and he's just like, he just talks about furry so much. I was
Oh.
like, are you
Are you trying to just come out if
like
you want
covering up?
to? He's like projecting so
Yeah.
much.
And I'm like, okay, I just like that movie. And I guess like there's like association to furries liking like animal movies, like the movie Sing. I love that movie.
And you know what? Even with Animal Crossing,
Oh yeah, like animal related stuff, like cute little
Yeah.
animals. Like, oh, that's a furry thing. Like,
you know what I watched?
okay.
I love watching villager hunting videos where they hunt for like their favorite villager.
Yeah.
Somebody was hunting for some other villager. They came across this villager that was like a fox woman. It was a female fox. And they're like, ooh, I like her. And I was like, that's a weird reaction. So that made me think maybe he's like a furry or has furry tendencies.
Oh, true.
Here's the thing. I don't judge furries. I do, actually, a little bit. Just because it creeps me out. Because I think I'm scared of animal suits. If you haven't heard Memory Lane Trippin', you'll know why.
Yeah.
But when I see them, they really give me like chills. And it's not because it's like, ew, you're a furry. It's just like any mascot costume just, ugh.
The
to
ones
me.
I've seen, like the costumes, like the full costumes.
Those are scary.
They're a little creepy. I'm gonna be honest. They are a little creepy.
It's just seeing a cartoon animal huge makes me feel nervous.
Like eerie. It's like creepy.
It makes me feel eerie. Like I'm in a fever dream.
And you know why? Another reason why I feel a little weird. So there was a phase of my life where I was very into Five Nights at
You were a
Freddy's.
furry?
No. I was very into Five Nights at Freddy's and watching gameplay, and like there's a whole lore behind it.
Oh, yeah.
I could go on about that for hours. And I was so into it, and it creeped me out, and like I'd watch it at night, and it was like, ooh, it's just spooky.
Yeah.
And that's why it creeps me out, because the little phase I went through.
Oh.
I'm like, ooh, Freddy.
See, okay, so furries, everyone thinks furries have sex in the animal suit.
Oh, I don't know what they do.
This is what I've learned from people I've talked to. So basically, what people feel, why they are furries, is because they feel like they can be their true selves without being themselves. Like they're like hiding behind this mask, but they could be whoever they want, and they feel like their like true self comes out
Can they
because
do
they're
it with
not
any
being
mask, or
judged.
does it have to be animals?
Well, they just do it with animals.
Let us know, guys.
Let us know. But that's why. And not a lot of, there's obviously some who have sex with the furry suit on, which is just, that just seems like a heat stroke ready to happen. But like,
Yeah.
you know, but a lot of them don't. That's a common misconception. They just feel more comfortable being themselves behind the mask. Is it still weird to me? Yeah, it kind of creeps me out.
I would want to learn more. I wouldn't judge them, though. I just
Yeah.
want to learn more.
We all have our kinks. Everybody has like, you know, a kink. I feel like there's more kinks that are accepted than other kinks. Like
Pulling
when
hair.
that's not a kink.
I think it is.
Like if you're talking to someone and you wouldn't be like, oh, pulling hair is my kink.
I think, okay, I don't know this. Someone can correct me. I think it is a kink, but it's so common and like so many people do it that it got so normalized it's like not even a kink anymore. I think that's what it is. I don't know though.
Oh, maybe. Well, it's like, you know, like, okay, because BDSM, I think about that. Like 50 Shades of Grey came out. That's a more like, that's a kink, but that's like a more accepted kink. Versus like furries and foot fetish people and wedgie people. People are quick to be like, that's weird. You know, there's some that are more accepted than others.
Okay, about BDSM. The reason why the reason why I am on the fence about not doing it, I don't want to do that.
We're talking about like extreme BDSM, right?
It's like hitting, right? Like inflicting pain on the other person.
No, because there's some BDSM that all they like are like handcuffs.
Oh,
and they tie
that's
each
considered
other's-
BDSM.
Yeah. Like, I think BDSM...
What does it stand for?
I'll Google it. BDSM meaning. Okay. Bondage, discipline, dominance, submission.
Okay.
Sadism, and masochism.
Here's why, for me, that is a little problematic sometimes if it goes too far. Because some people have used, like, BDSM as a form to, like, abuse their partner. But they're saying, oh, it's BDSM.
Well, is their partner okay with it?
Well, I don't know. And I don't know. It's really problematic because domestic abuse is such a big issue.
But that's so different from BDSM.
I know, but think about it. Some people get abused and they don't do anything about it. It's just like, you know, happening. So what would be different from it happening in the bedroom? It's like, oh, it's BDSM though.
Because you like, I'm just speaking not from experience, but just like for those people. Because like before you even engage in it, we're talking about like extreme BDSM.
I don't know.
That's the thing. Because like if we're talking about like BDSM, oh, it's just like they like handcuffs and like a blindfold. That's different than like people who have like the whole flogger and the whip and the chain. You know, that's completely different.
But some BDSM is like punching.
Yeah.
That's why it's so, it just depends. It's
Yeah.
like a spectrum and it can get so extreme to the point where it's really problematic.
I think it's only problematic if it's not consensual. If both parties are down for that and they like it and they somehow get off to it, then it's okay.
And it's not hurting them mentally or like...
Yeah, like if it's like they're okay with it. Like if the girl was like, I am okay, or boy, because some guys, there's dominatrix where it's like flip, the female is like the dominant one. If they're okay with like being punched and they get hard from that or they get, you know, then I think it's okay.
As long as everything's okay in the old noggin.
Yeah. Like if, because like
you're okay.
when I think about BDSM, I think about like, yeah, it could be crazy and some are like fucking insane. But if it's just consensual, that's all that matters. And that's what was problematic with, you know what's problematic actually? 50 Shades of Grey and the depiction of BDSM.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, I watched it. In the end, she basically tells him like... Spoiler alert for 50 Shades of Grey Part 1. She basically says like, do your worst to me. Like, I'll take it. Like, whatever you want, like, just do it. You know? Like, she's kind of like just saying
She
like...
snaps her neck.
No. Like, she wants it like the craziest that he could ever get, right?
Yeah.
And he winds up just slapping her butt really hard, which doesn't seem that crazy. Like, well,
That's so funny.
you know, like you expect him to like bring out a fucking flogger or something, or like, I don't know, candle wax. But instead he just slaps her butt.
Candle wax?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's awful.
So, come on. Some people do that. Some people like it.
Dude, that's like my skin.
Pain and pleasure.
That's like scars though.
Those feelings are intertwined. You never heard that lyric? Anyway, so she's like, give me your worst, you know? And Christian Grey is like, fuck it. You're asking for it and you consented. So he basically starts slapping her butt like really, really hard. And she's like, no, I can't take it. And then she fucking storms out and cries. And I'm like, I feel like now you're making him look like he's the fucking insane one. And he's all like abusive, but you literally asked him to do it. And you never even said the safe word. They have a safe word together, and she didn't even say the safe word. And then the whole movie ends, her feeling abused, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're painting this picture that he looks like such this horrible person when you were down for the cause, you know? And because you couldn't take it, now you're blaming him. Like, you guys should have just, you know. Again, it's a movie. But I think BDSM is okay if everyone is just consensual.
And mentally stable.
And mentally, yeah.
Because some people are like, oh, hurt me, but they're like broken in their brain.
Yeah. I think you should know, like, the limits, the boundaries. I feel like that, if anything, kinks are okay as long as it's like consensual and there's boundaries and everything's well communicated. I feel like everything's good.
Yeah.
Whoopsh. Alexa, play S&M by Rihanna. That's a good song.
Okay.
'Cause I'm maybe bad.
Now we're going to be talking about a kink that is not okay.
Yeah, we don't kink shame except for this one.
Because it's not a kink.
Yeah, it's just pedophilia.
And that's
but
age play.
Age play. What the fuck? That is not a kink.
You belong in jail. Electric chair.
So, age play, ugh. You talk about that grinds my gears.
I don't know the exact fucking definition and what it's like
age play
covered
is
up
like,
by.
People are just like, oh, sometimes, you know, like when girls in the bedroom call like, oh, daddy, you know. They like expand on that and like they really take the whole like I'm the dad and you're like a little girl and ooh I'm gonna.
Oh my god, I thought because you know what I just.
It's like acting younger because they're like ooh daddy like I'm a little girl.
It's fucking disgusting.
Spank me, whatever the
okay.
fuck.
I thought what it was. I think I mixed two things up. Was when people are actually doing it's pedophilia. You're like older and with a minor.
That is something else.
I forgot what it's called.
It's a new thing.
And they're saying.
Do you know
like,
the YouTuber Blair White? She's like a trans YouTuber that
feel
does
like
social
you told me
commentary.
about her
She
before.
basically talks about like
oh, I know who that is.
oh, what you're talking about? Maps. Okay, so this is something that is very touchy. Trigger warning. Should we do trigger warning for pedophilia and sexual abuse for children?
Yeah.
Trigger warning, guys. But this is different than age play. Age play is when people act younger, which kind of promotes pedophilia and pedophilic behavior, you know? But MAP is kind of being, I'm using air quotes, accepted by like the LGBTQ
That's
community.
what I meant, yeah.
Because they're calling it MAP, which is minor attracted people.
No, that's
And
not.
they're like, oh, well, no, it's just how I identify as a minor attracted person, blah, blah, blah. And it's just what I like and I can't control it. You can. You're just a pedophile. MAP? No, you're a pedophile. Sorry.
You know what you deserve?
Prison.
To rot in prison, in
Ooh.
solitary confinement.
Good one.
And if they don't have that, electric chair. I don't give a shit. There is no. This,
I don't give a fuck.
okay, the way that I advocate, I'd give my fucking life to children.
No, children are amazing.
I love children. They're so
I love
innocent. They
children.
do not deserve a
To
lot
be
of the shit
hurt.
they go through. Some children.
And for that, there's people fucking trying to be like, oh, it's just a kink. Oh, it's just this. There's no reason why anything related to minors and sexual things should be accepted. Sorry.
A fucking minor cannot
I don't
consent,
give a
you
fuck.
sick son of a bitch.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that.
They said yes. Their fucking little itty bitty
And
brain
you know what?
is not
And you know
developed.
what? You know what? People are trying to be like, well, that's the PC way to call it. MAP. I'm like, no, bitch.
There's no PC.
There's no PC way to call a pedophile a pedophile. You're a pedophile. Don't accept that. Don't, I don't give a fuck.
I have no sympathy.
No sympathy for those. And
Not-
I don't care.
not
if,
an ounce.
if you identify as a MAP, minor attracted person, you're sick. And we kink shame you.
Because it's not even a kink.
It's not even a fucking kink. You're making all the other kinks look bad because you're a pedophile, to be honest. Because you're hurting someone. I think a kink shouldn't hurt people, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Take it away.
If your little kink is inflicting pain on another person mentally, physically,
That's not consensual.
verbally.
Because then you're basically describing BDSM.
Yeah, but it's like,
That's not consensual.
yeah, then it's a problem.
Then you should be kink shamed a little bit, a lot of it. It just bothers me when, you know, people are coming up with all of these terms in order to be politically correct. Somehow that got slipped in and people are trying to like accept it and think it's not as bad as it is because it's just a kink, blah, blah, blah.
No.
It's really not. I don't know if anybody has heard about that before. I don't know. Watch Blair White's video. Blair White made a great video describing it. and she mentions it a lot. And I just think it's very informative, and it's just a good thing to kind of be out for.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for is what I meant.
I think that also comes in what we've said before, listen. When you listen, you catch underlying meanings, and you're like, oh, that's fuck. Because at first, if you hear that, you're like, look, it's cool.
Yeah.
If you're not really paying attention, but it's not okay.
But think about it. Minor attracted person.
Minor.
You're attracted to minors.
Weird.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Fucking gross. Anyways, oh yeah, back to age play. Because now that we just
we just
defined both
Yeah, we
terms.
defined them.
The reason why that's fucked up, because even though you're not, having sex with a minor and
Age
your
play?
partner is just acting like one,
You're promoting that it's okay.
and the fact that you're getting off to childlike behaviors,
That's a little suspicious. But you know what? This might sound fucked up, but I'm glad that they're doing it with an adult rather than a kid.
Yeah,
I'm glad, like, it's sick either way, but at least you're doing it with a fucking adult who's acting like a kid versus a true actual kid.
yeah, but I think it's like underneath all of
No,
that,
yeah, then-
you're a fucking pedophile.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's just not like a normal kink, you know?
Yeah.
But I think if they know that they're a pedophile, at least they're not doing it to kids.
I know.
It's the bare minimum, but at least they're not doing it to kids.
Yeah.
Real kids.
It's settling. We're settling right now.
Yeah, we're settling. But still, it's still
Yeah.
kind of fucked. And again, like, we started this by saying we don't kink shame, but I think there is a point where kinks do cross the line when it's not consensual. It has to do with children. That's where it gets a little iffy. And that, those kinks, quote unquote kinks, they make the wedgie and feet people look amazing. Unproblematic as fuck. Think about it. They're not fucking problematic.
I mean, I don't care.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
compared, like, wedgie people and foot fetish people.
Oh, we forgot to bring something up.
What?
We talked to one of the people and we asked, like, where does that come from?
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like,
Because we knew we were going to make this episode, and we
Yeah.
wanted to kind of talk about, like, what are some negative stigmas you want us to debunk.
Yeah. Okay.
So we DM'd a couple of our people, our wedgie fetish people that we're in cahoots with, I guess, on Instagram.
And one of them, we asked, like, oh, where did that come from? Like, why did you get into that? And they told us that it came from, oh, okay, I'll read it.
This is a DM from the wedgie person that we talked to, who's
Let
really
me
nice.
get my reading voice on.
Okay.
I'd say for most people with a wedgie fetish, it stemmed from being bullied in some way, which links back to being humiliated. Like for me personally, I was bullied in high school and humiliated a lot and received a bunch of swirlies, and a lot of people in this community enjoy them, but not me. They mean swirlies. Not the wedgie. Also, in like wedgie Discord servers, you'll find people with role play as quote bully and a quote nerd, depending on the person if they are more of a dom or sub. Dominant or submissive, just in case you didn't know.
Yep.
Hope this helps you and others understand. Exclamation point, smiley face.
Yay.
2 parentheses.
So that's where it stems from for some people, because they got bullied,
Yeah.
which makes sense. I kind of guessed something like that. But, it's not. Let's see. Another person said, I think an interesting point is that these kinks can be found in anyone, whether it's wedgies or feet. It could be within anyone, and it's interesting to meet some people and find out that they're decent people, aside from their kink.
I mean, your kink doesn't define you. That stays in the bedroom, what you're doing.
know.
You're not
But,
outside in the streets wedging people.
But the thing is, it's like some people, like if we didn't react so open to them, I feel like people would have been so quick to be like, you're fucking weird, like don't DM us, like blah, blah, blah. Like
people are so mean.
People are really mean. And like when we interacted with them, we weren't rude in any way or judgmental in any way, and I feel like people are so quick to hear like, oh, they like wedgies, they like feet, and then all of a sudden them as a person gets washed over by just their fetish. They become their fetish.
Like, I know you like some weird shit.
So you're just a weird fucking person, and they're like, I'm just so normal, like
Yeah.
I just like that in the bedroom.
This is my little theory.
Okay.
I think everybody has some kind of little kink they like, even
Kinky.
if they don't know it yet.
It just needs to, have you seen that clip of Family Guy where Stewie gets tied up in rope, like he gets caught in a trap?
He's a baby.
No, I know, but he gets like caught up in a trap and like he's hanging by the ceiling in ropes, and he's like, I think I just discovered something. That's it. Like you don't know it until like you discover it.
Everyone has a little kink. Everyone has something that just
What's
does it for
yours?
them. Everyone has something that just does it for them.
No, yeah, and I think that's why everybody should be accepting. People like to make fun of a lot of kinks, but at the end of the day, everybody has their own kink, whether it's accepted or not accepted, except for age play and map people.
Yep.
And you should just chill, you know, be open to your partner. Another thing, I feel like, here's the thing. Let's say you're in a relationship with somebody for a while, and then suddenly, this is like a story, like a hypothetical story. What if they're like, hey, Angie, I really like this.
Like what?
Like, what if they're like,
God.
Angie, you know, we've been dating for such a long time. I finally feel comfortable to say, I like a dom woman. Could we try it out?
This is why I would be against it. Here's why. If I'm with someone and we're dating long term, that means I love you. I would feel it would hurt me.
Oh, to hurt them.
I could never.
All right. Well, what if they're like, I love when you pee on people. You've been together for years, married for years, and he's like, you know what I really fucking like, and I just never said this. What would you do it?
Me peeing on him or him peeing on me?
I don't know. You peeing on him?
I think we talked about this before. If my husband wants to pee on me, he has better only drink water his entire life, not one fucking drop of soda.
Or anything, only water.
That is the only way.
Okay.
The only fucking way.
Yeah, because we're talking husband.
Yeah.
Not just like a boyfriend. Like, we're talking husband.
If he's only ever had water, he's allergic to anything else and never even had a little taste, then fine, whatever. I'll take a shower instantly. Me peeing on him?
Would you pee on him?
Oh, that makes such a mess.
I know. Let's just hypothetically.
But then
Just
what
saying.
if it touches me?
It's coming out of you.
I think it would take a lot for me to do that. And he would have to clean it afterwards.
But love triumphs.
Love wins.
Love is love is love is love. So overall, we just want to say thank you to the Wedgie community for really spreading the news on our podcast. You know, we got a lot of listeners from it. We want to say thank you. If you guys are listening to this, I know a lot of, you know, some people from the Wedgie community are listening to this right now. Thank you. Check out our other episodes.
Yeah, they're really funny.
They're funny. They don't talk about wedgies at all. Also, we just want to say that if there are any other people who are waiting for wedgie content from us, we don't have any. I don't have any stories of me getting a wedgie.
Yeah, and that's a little weird if you're expecting that, because that story I told was like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So like, why would we be like
brand
ourselves as wedgie? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we're not gonna come out with more wedgie content. I've never had a wedgie before. You already told your story.
Yeah.
There's nothing else we can really say.
We closed that chapter in our lives.
Yeah.
It's time to move on.
It's time to move on. That's not what we're branding ourselves as. Thank you for the views. Listen to our other episodes. And
slide in the DMs. We can negotiate feet pick prices. Have a blessed day.
Bye.